Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to another episode of Formula Review. I'm your host, Charles May, and there's one thing I absolutely love is fast cars, obviously, and another thing I absolutely love almost equally is fast cars featured in action movies. So today we're very lucky to have one of those cars, very similar to the one that was shot here locally in San Francisco. If you haven't guessed already, I'm talking about The Rock, featuring Nicolas Cage, who was piloting this car through the streets of San Francisco. So I have a very interesting backstory to share with you today, and we're going to take this out on the road and give you some more feedback and see how it is, and I hope you enjoy.
So excited that we had this Ferrari F355 Spider in the exact same color that was used in the movie, and it's not that far from San Francisco. You know, it's about 20 minutes, so very excited. We got a nice day here, and for will it scrape? This is actually a really tricky one because the nose does stick out a bit, so you have to be very careful. And no scrape. Perfect. And we're off. One of the things I like most about this car and the way it was used in the movie is that, again, Michael Bay is really good at capturing the sound of these cars that he uses in his movie. He gets a great burnout sequence with this, with the acceleration, that high-pitched Ferrari sound. But also it's kind of a throwback to the Bullet chase scene, which I'm sure many are familiar with as well, where he's in the Mustang, he's bombing the hills of San Francisco. This one, you know, it's again very short. It's not such an extended chase scene, but it's a really nice throwback and kind of homage to the original Bullet chase scene, which is a lot of people's favorite and one of mine as well. So when I initially saw this car in the showroom, I mentioned to Brad, you know, this is the exact same spec essentially, except it's not a manual, of the car that was used in the movie, driven by Nicolas Cage, The Rock. And funny enough, Brad sold that 355 Spider to the production crew for that movie. In fact, he not only sold the 355 Spider, but he sold a front and rear bumper for the stunt cars, which were, I believe, Pontiac Fieras, which I'm sure some of you have seen the aftermarket kit you can buy for that car. And you'll notice in a lot of the shots, it's actually shot pretty far away when it's not the actual real car, so they don't show you all the little body kit parts that you'll probably pick up on if they were shot a little bit closer. But really, really cool backstory that he actually sold that car. Not only that, but he ended up buying it back from them when they were done. The car didn't get wrecked in the movie. There's a couple of scenes where you can tell up close outside of the hotel where it is the actual 355 Spider, and a lot of the other ones it's just a stunt car. And again, it wasn't used for huge scenes in the movie. It was just a small scene, but still a really cool one and one of my favorites, especially since it was shot here in San Francisco. The first thing I like about this Ferrari 355 Spider is the fact that it's a Spider. It's a convertible. A lot of people, again, tend to think, hey, they're for girls, etc., whatever. Every Ferrari is going to sound better with the top down. This one, in my opinion, absolutely does. We got it top up for you guys so you can hear me today. And a lot of people say also that you lose the body lines with the car when the top's down. I don't think that's true. I think for the 355 Spider, it looks equally as good with the top up and down. For instance, in the movie, they shot it with the top up. It looks great. Unfortunately, they did a lot of damage to it. Spoiler alert there, but it's a great car regardless if it's a hard top or it's a Spider. But I like the Spider more because in California, we're lucky enough to have year-round weather where you can enjoy this kind of car. So it makes sense that maybe someone in San Francisco would have one that Nicolas Cage would steal and go chasing after Sean Connery. One of the things I like most about this 355 Spider, which is very simple and not complex, are the pop-up headlights. I mean, for me, I see those immediately, I think F40. And yes, this is not a Ferrari F40, but for that classic old Ferrari look, and it's a nice throwback. I mean, I really enjoy the old Ferrari manuals, the features that are kind of dying as we move on with these more modern day Ferraris. And the pop-up headlights, yes, it's not terribly complex. Yes, it's not a performance-based feature, but it's something classic about it that really just draws me back to the F40 and the old classic Ferrari design. So it's really small, but for me, it really does kind of immediately give you a flashback to the older, somewhat more prestigious Ferraris like the F40. The third thing I like most about this Ferrari 355 Spider is the fact that over time, a lot of people at Ferrari owners specifically are familiar with this. Over time, Maseratis and Ferraris get this thing where the buttons get sticky and the black substance gets kind of like tacky. But the thing about this car is all these buttons have been refinished by a company called Sticky No More, I believe it is, where you send them and they refinish the buttons for you instead of having to order new ones. They put a coating on there that matches the interior. It's going to last a lot longer than the original ones. So it's nice that somebody's already gone ahead and done that for you, because the one thing that's really upsetting if you own a Ferrari is that get in there, you experience everything that's so nice about it, and to have you touch a button that feels like it's coated in jam is pretty disappointing. So really nice to see someone's already gone ahead and done that for you on this 355 Spider. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Formula Review. It's been an absolute pleasure to be able to share this 355 Spider with you, and also, of course, the backstory of Brad buying selling the 355 Spider to the production crew, and he actually did buy it back at a later date and then sold it again. So this is not that exact car, but again, pretty much spot on, same spec, except for the fact the one in the movie was a manual. This one is not a manual. But still a really cool car. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite Ferrari used in an action movie? I'm really interested, and let me know what other cars you want to see as well. Really, really enjoy sharing these cars with you, and thank you to Brad. So if you're interested in this car, contact him at San Francisco Sports Cars. This one's $69,995. If you have any more questions, please reach out to Brad, and he'll be able to help you out. But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next episode.